Having fun, my dear? I'm surprised a mortal being of your grace hasn't been asked to dance yet. It seems as though all these fine lords and ladies are blind to ignore somebody as refined as yourself. Despite that mask of yours, I can just feel your beauty radiating, my dear. This particular composition is one of my favorites. As you don't seem busy at the moment, may I ask for this dance? I'll take that as a yes. Delightful. Come, take my hand and join me. I promise I won't bite, unless you ask me to, that is. Have you ever been to such a splendid dance before? I must say, I very much enjoyed my first masquerade. But on this one, the company I had prior to you was rather boring. I do find it somewhat amusing to judge people on their body language and aura rather than their looks. For all you know, I could be a monster beneath this mask. But if I was, I probably wouldn't be so confident, right? You might never know. In today's time, people have become even more superficial, it seems, only judging others on how beautiful they seem according to ever-changing trends. Isn't it boring to only talk to those who can afford beauty? I have seen too many volatile trends in my time. They come and go. One day you must be corpulent and healthy with long, full hair. The next, you must poison yourself to look as sickly and thin as you can. It must be such a hassle to constantly appease these unreasonable standards. That is why I love these dances more than anything. Now your charm is what sets you apart, not how slim or wide your face is. Of course, it will never truly be impartial. There will always be the fit of clothing and the color of skin peeking through the costumes, but I feel as though it does make a difference. I truly believe those who are not following all trends of beauty know their true virtues are made of grace and intelligence, kindness and courage, not simply a face and body. That is not to say you aren't beautiful, my dear, but I do believe you would be just as enticing in any shape you choose. But who am I to judge? I apologize for my rambles. I'm sure this is not what you agreed to when I asked you to dance. So I take it you don't mind? I'm glad you're enjoying my company nonetheless. Yes, it is truly a pleasure to share this delightful music with you. Your dancing is quite excellent too, my dear. Your elegance is simply ethereal. And if I had to guess, I'd say the rest of you would be too. You look as though you're beginning to enjoy yourself a little more, my dear. Yes, I can tell you're smiling more than before. Just standing around and watching others dance stiffly does sound unenjoyable. Your dance is much smoother than theirs, much more elegant. Doesn't it almost feel like we're floating through the ballroom? You're truly intoxicating, my dear. And that perfume of yours is quite divine. Such a sweet, alluring scent. Though that could just be your natural fragrance. I must admit, it is quite tempting. Oh dear, you look a little flushed. Shall we step outside for a moment? You'll be able to catch your breath there. The air is quite thick in here. Shall I accompany you? Splendid, my dear. Let's go, then. The air is so nice and crisp out here. Look, the first stars are beginning to show. Oh, I love dusk. Just after sunset and right before nightfall, where the moon is crowning bright above the horizon and the sky is still colored in a deep red, mixed with gentle hues of pink and purple. It is such a poetic time of day, wouldn't you agree, my dear? Its beauty can almost compare to you. Almost, but not quite. Now that your smell is isolated from the crowd, it proves even more sublime and endearing than I first thought. Don't be frightened now. If you keep backing away like that, I'll have you pinned in a moment. You noticed the change in my eyes, didn't you? But don't be scared, my dear. I won't hurt you unless I have your consent. I can hear your heart beating faster, dear. The adrenaline is only amplifying your charming scent. I'm sure you can tell I'm not mortal. I suppose it's quite obvious now, my dear. Have you ever heard the name Cecilia del Aristoth? I figured you were the type to read books of vampires. That saves me a lot of time. May I know your name too, now that you have mine? A name like velvet on my tongue. Isn't the air just lovely tonight? The light is fading, and you find yourself backed against the castle wall, pinned by a vampire. Isn't it exciting, my dear? The thought of me having you right here and now away from prying eyes and bright ballroom light. Not a soul would hear you over the orchestra playing within the thick, marbled walls. The smell of fear on you is secondary, my dear. Should I have a guess what the primary one is? Don't get flustered now. There's no shame in enjoying something like this. No need to be shy. But after all, I am a lady of my word. I will not bite unless I have permission. The way you're tilting your head, desperately avoiding my gaze while presenting your lovely neck to me. It feels almost like an invitation, my dear. I'm not holding you down just yet. I give you 5 seconds to push me away and run off to safety. If you don't, I'll take it as your consent. Look, I'll even take a step back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look at me, my dear. Look into my eyes. This is all you're doing. You made this happen. With your way, your charm, your elegance. You, my dear, are bringing out some unusually animal characteristics of mine. I'm not sure what it is about you, but somehow you are driving me insane. And I can tell I've been having a similar effect on you. You don't mind me trailing my finger down your neck, do you, my dear? Your skin, illuminated by moonlight, is even more majestic than below the candles inside. I believe the moon changes the atmosphere of scenes. The way it's making your eyes shimmer beneath that mask of yours, how it colors your hair, and how your blush seems to brighten beneath it. I bet it would look lovely on your crimson blood, making it shine like lavish ruby, finest silk, purest silver. To think a demon like myself would be able to withstand such angelic beauty. Would you mind if I take that mask off of you? I want to take in your facial expressions fully. Admire all your features. See everything that face of yours is capable of. In exchange, I will allow you to see mine too, of course. Does that sound like a fair deal to you, my dear? Such a good sweetheart. I'll be letting go of you to take off your mask. This is your last chance to run away. Look at me, dear. Don't you dare look away now. Look into my eyes. Look at what what you've made me do. The way my fangs want you. How I can feel my body shiver with anticipation, just thinking of touching you. This is a very unusual feeling. So very strange. Tell me, how long have you been fantasizing about being bitten by a vampire? Has it been months? Years, even? Do you wish for that fantasy to finally be fulfilled, my dear? You do, don't you? Last chance to say no, my dear. Oh, don't you look away now. Or are you presenting your neck to me? Last chance. Fine with me. You taste delicious. Feels good, doesn't it? God, that's good. Do you want more? I just can't get enough of this. You taste even better than you look, darling. I have to contain myself. You probably wouldn't enjoy it if I sucked you dry by accident. Are you alright, my dear? A bit shaky? That's normal. But as soon as you start seeing black, you have to tell me. This kind of bloodless pale suits you, my dear. You look hauntingly beautiful. It really brings out the color of your eyes. Thank you for this, darling. You are quite the refreshment, especially after the boring company I had earlier. I hope to hear from you again in the future, now that you know my name. But don't tell anyone about this. Otherwise, they would forbid you from seeing me again. Losing you would be quite the shame. I can think of a few more ways to have my fun with you. Oh dear, should I carry you? You look quite weak, dear. I suppose I overdid it a little. There you go. Oh, no, it's not an issue. You barely weigh anything to me. I could throw you if I wished. I won't throw you, dear. I promise.